The Orlando Solar Bears are home for games coming up on Thursday and on Sunday, and the Solar Bears, part of Hockey Fights Cancer, pink jersey for both these games, and Solar Bears invite you to come on out and support lots of things that you can help their fight against cancer, and you can check out the pink jerseys for both Thursday's game against Gwinnett and then Florida coming up on Sunday. Trevor Gillies joins us as a member of the Orlando Solar Bears. Trevor, good morning. How are you?
Morning. How are you guys?
Good. All right, Trevor, what happened this past weekend? Couple seconds into the game and you're dropping gloves. What happened Saturday?
No, that's kind of a part of my role, and all the guys have been asking me. I mean, obviously my rap sheet speaks for itself. Been doing this job a long time, but all the guys have been wanting to see me get in one, and they had a really tough young player on the other team who does the same role as me, and they started their toughest guys on the ice, and we started ours with me, Slater, Nagy, and we just started the game off like that, and it was a good one, and I give the kid a lot of respect for standing up to me, and obviously showed some good sportsmanship at the end, giving him a pat on the head. It's not an easy job to do, and I respect everyone who's willing to do that for their brothers. How does that happen, though, Trevor, in the sense, is there just a look? Is there just a sense that something's going to happen here? Because to hear you talk about it, I mean, you've complimented what the younger player did, and you showed your appreciation. But what happens before the game that you're going as soon as the puck drops? Oh, there's definitely, he's kind of eyeballs me and warm up and, cross. Who would eyeball you? You have like 3 million penalty minutes. What kind of sick guy eyeballs you? I don't know. I was wondering the same thing, but he was obviously pretty hungry. So, I went over and had a little talk with him and, just kind of told the kid, I'd love to get in one. And Wait. You went over and had a talk telling him that you wanted to get a fight early? Well, I had some choice words, We can't talk about that on air with parents and children, but we had a nice little talk, and and I pretty much told him, I'm like, you do good. I dreamed of this, fighting having an NHL. I had dreamed of this, having an NHL fighter give me a chance when I was young. I'm like, I'm giving you a chance. If you do good against me, you're going to be out of here right away. What makes a good hockey fighter? It's a lot of... to be honest, it's not like the old days where you just grab on and kind of chuck. It's much more of a science to that. If you watch my fight carefully and you follow MMA or boxing, you'll see a lot of the same stuff I'm doing. Like I'm not going to say it over there because I don't want him to hear this piece. And I don't want you to drop, certain specialties you got here. I'm just kind of curious, what makes somebody. I don't want to give away stuff because I don't. To study me because we play them like 20 more times or something. But I have fight coaches, Marc Grubel, who has had so many champions come here for that IKF, Orlando Kickboxing Championship. He's one of my best buddies and he's one of my coaches. I train him on the weights, and the trade-off is that he holds pads for me. Stevie DeMent, who's a pro fighter out of Augusta, Georgia, same thing. I'm strong and big enough to hold the pads for these guys because they have crazy snap on all their shots. So littler dudes can't hold for them because they'll blow their shoulders out with the kicks and stuff. So literally over the last couple of years, I just hold pads for these guys and then they teach me. So, and then my other fight coach who helped me get to the NHL is Chris Elms, and he's like a jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai kind of master, and he's real smart, got a couple degrees. So he breaks down. I gave him a list of all the top right-handers and left-handers in the game before I made it to the NHL, and he'd study them all and see what works, like what jiu-jitsu grabs work and what things work, and we just drill it over and over again, different things with gis on, and then we eventually went to jerseys, and, it's a total science behind it. It isn't like the old days where you just grab on and, have a punch in the face, rock 'em, sock 'em robot contest. This is how I feed my family, and I have a beautiful wife and 2 great kids, and I'm like the big brother to these guys. I might not have many fights this year, but I can promise you that they feel a lot more protected and are pretty happy that I'm here, being in that locker room, looking after them. And I'm kind of old school. I have no problems going out and identifying a situation, whether it's going to give me a suspension or not, because I believe that that's the problem with the enforcer role. Everyone just started being buddies and went out and was like, hey, let's have a fight. And, that's the problem. So, no one's going to be taking liberties against the Orlando Solar Bears. I can promise you that.
Well, I'm not after this. You just scared the daylights out of me here. But, Trevor, you're 34 and still choose to play this game. Not that they're not guys at the highest level at 34 years old. But what is it that still makes you get up and fight through the aches and pains and want to go out and play? And clearly you've indicated you enjoy working with younger players, and it's not just about the physical fighting side of it. But why at 34 do you still get up and play?
I'm glad you touched on that. I still have that fire burning in my belly. I went over to Russia and made my money and played in the Russian NHL, and I really enjoyed that. And the same in Finland. I played in their top league, and those are just great leagues and all that. But after this year, after I got bought out at 100% in Finland, just working out every day, training, and enjoying my family time in Georgia. And I told the wife, I'm like, I really want my daughter, because she doesn't remember me playing in the NHL when I was there for a year and a half. She's 6, so she doesn't remember. So I really wanted to only play in the Southern Division, and I want to help young guys get to the American League. One being my roommate, Ian Slater. I'm working with him and a couple other guys, Corey Nagy, on teaching them how to fight. And they already have tremendous work ethic, both of them. But I'm hoping, like little things I could rub off on some of these young guys. I may not be the most talented player, but, I come to work every day, and I'm still going to the gym every day and working on my game every day after practice. We have to remember that, we're the lucky ones that are blessed to be playing that little boy's game and making a living at it. So, whether you're at the highest level making the big bucks and trying to win a Stanley Cup or you're in the lower levels, it's still it's a great life, and I just love the game. And, I'm hoping that I can, with the little things I bring, I can win a championship here and also learn from Vinny and our assistant coach. The coaching side of things might be something I want to do when I'm done, but no, I came here to win. I didn't come here just for a vacation. I came here to win and help young guys, just like you said. That's my number one goal, really.
Trevor, I took a quick glance at your stats, and it looked to me like I saw maybe 24 teams or something that you have been with in your career. Is there one of them that you would say that's one place I would never go back?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, every place, every stop along the way, I believe, was put in front of me for a reason. The town might have been pretty terrible and where we didn't get very many fans, but, in other scenarios, those are some of the places where I had the coaches that really worked with me, like Lowell, Mass is a terrible place. It's really not a
there you go.
place, but, it's not a destination spot for sure, but I had a coach that I'm still friends with and who's like my mentor, Tom Rowe. He coached in the NHL as an assistant in Carolina and coached in Russia with the Lokomotiv last year, and now he's in San Antonio in the A. But he worked with me every day. Like, he bagged me into the ground, and, he changed me from a defenseman to a forward. And, he said, if you want to play, this is kind of, this is what you're going to be doing, and you can move up. And he worked with me every day, and I owe pretty much all my playing to, why I'm playing to him, because he really took the time to work with me. And then the next year I had another great guy who was one of my idols, Marty McSorley, who obviously protected Gretzky for a long time. And, he taught me a lot of the skilled side of fighting and, going to the body and all that stuff. And he was just a great man. And, I've had a lot of guys along the way. The list goes on and on. Obviously, this is year 15 for me. But no, I've been very fortunate to have some great men, teach me the way.
Trevor Gillies is with us. The Orlando Solar Bears again are in action on Thursday as well as Sunday, part of Hockey Fights Cancer in their pink jerseys. So please get out and support a great cause. You played the Continental League in Russia and a lot of proud countries, the U.S., of course, Canada. Playing in Russia, what was that like, and their passion towards hockey? Was it different than what you thought or what you did think it would be like?
It was, I didn't know what to expect, really. I had a good idea because my best friend, who's another one of my Bash brothers, I've fought him many times, and he's one of my groomsmen, and I was his best man. Jeremy Yablonsky's one of the toughest guys to have ever played in the last 15 years. But he brought me over there, and we were roommates, and it was awesome. I got treated so great by the family that owned our team. And the fans are like out of control, and they have flags, and they're, smashing on the drum, and it's almost like soccer atmosphere, like in Europe. It was a really, really cool experience. they're really, really into it. I mean, I couldn't tell you what they're saying. I learned a little bit of Russian, so I can get by to get food and, have a basic conversation and stuff like that. So it was just an awesome experience. I really enjoyed Russia. I would definitely go back. They're very, very talented hockey players. It was a great experience. We got to see a lot of cool countries. My favorite place that I got to visit was Prague, Czech Republic. It's just absolutely beautiful there. They have a team in our league. It was really cool. I really enjoyed it, and obviously it's a little easier on the body. Being in Europe, you play less games, and we don't play back to back in the KHL, and you fly. But to be honest, being back here at the Solar Bears, I really kind of missed the bus. We play some card games, and it's just a closer. I feel like it's just a close group. It's a close league. It's almost like college or major, junior in the OHL. The guys are all close. We go fishing, and we hang out and we have dinners and go to, like 15 guys will go to a movie. It's just, it's more of like a brotherhood. And I've kind of been missing that. And,
you don't fish, though. You yell and the fish just jump out. I mean, imagine when Trevor shows up, you just yell and the fish say, okay, here, I'm done. Jerry, go ahead for Trevor.
Trevor, did I actually see in your history a game with the Ducks where you had 21 penalty minutes?
Yeah, that was my first game, and obviously, as a younger guy.
Bad reffing, Trevor. Bad reffing that night.
No, it was nothing like that. I was trying to make my mark, and I literally got called up to fight the champ. I got called up to fight Derek Bugard, and rest in peace.
Yeah.
He was the man, and I got a tremendous amount of respect for him. He's the reason why they needed guys like me for a long time, and. A lot of guys had good careers because, you needed somebody to combat Boogie. He's huge. So pretty much I got dropped that fight. It was the first time in my career that I'd been knocked out, and it's the only time since that, and only man that's ever been able to knock me out. So I couldn't even tell you if the punch was hard. That's how clean it was. I don't remember that part of my life. I mean, it's kind of scary to think about that, but it is what it is, and you win some, you lose some kind of gig. So I kind of initiated that fight. That's why there's so many penalties.
Trevor, what do you say to those that you've heard it that hockey's a beautiful sport. It doesn't need this element of fighting. You saw what happened recently with Tortorella and the whole Vancouver-Calgary situation there. What would you tell those critics that say the game is great, it doesn't need that element?
Oh, I think they're absolutely crazy. I mean, there's a reason why there's more head injuries now than there ever has been. It's because guys don't have any fear. There's a lack of respect. Guys run around like they're in college with full face masks on and trying to kill each other. I mean, you take away that instigator rule, which will never happen, by the way, or you don't make the fines and suspensions as stiff. Let a guy like McGrattan do his job and see if anyone on Calgary is going to get injured. I promise you there's going to be very few injuries because he's the toughest guy in the NHL. And if he's free to patrol the ice, and it's a self-police game. If guys are able to do that, then the injuries will be way down. And, I'm the wrong guy to ask because I love old school hockey and I'm not going to change. I mean, I love the way I play and I love the guys that do what I do. Some of those guys are the best guys in the game. They're the nicest, do the most community work, and they're loved everywhere they go. And I won't watch hockey when they take that out. So I won't watch it anymore.
Do you guys kind of have any unwritten rules as far as the fights? I'm just trying to throw an example. Let's say you've actually got a cracked rib but you get into a little conflict. Can you say something or something that let the other guy know, let's not really tear it apart this time because I got something going on or anything like that?
I mean, it doesn't really happen. You never really take it easy on a guy, but if you're in the middle of a fight with a guy, like, and he says, oh, Gills, my shoulder, or something, like his shoulder popped out or something like that, I names and stuff when this has happened, when I'm in a fight. It's like an unwritten rule that don't take advantage of another guy kind of thing, especially if it's a guy you have respect for. Then you're like, okay, and then that's kind of like the end of the fight. Or same like a guy one night might have really banged up hands, like, you have skin on your hands and they sometimes get tore off or their hand might be sore from whatever, doing the job. You'll give a guy a benefit of the doubt, especially if you respect him. As long as he's not running around like a dummy and he's playing a clean game, you know, there's definitely unwritten things like that. Or if a guy falls, you try not to hit him. You know, there's definite kind of that unwritten code thing. It's just a respect. It's just respect, just like in life. You know what I mean? Like, if you were gonna do that job, you would want that person at their best.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? You give them a little space, give them some time off.
What's the chance on Sunday you're fighting in the first 2 minutes of this game, Trevor? It's Florida on Sunday. I mean, they're back on Sunday. We don't like them. It's the Everblades. Screw them.
Yeah, of course, they're our rival. And, they're a great team, and you know, put it this way. I mean, if someone wants to fight me and make a name for themselves, and it's in the confines of the game, and you know, we need it for our team. Like, I'm not fighting just for the sake of fighting. I'm 35 years old. I've already had 400 or whatever in my life. So, you know, if we need it, and I think it's going to help our team win, then I'll do it 100%. If someone wants to make a mark, and you know, I had old guys give me my shot, and that's how I got to stick around and move up. I started out in the East Coast League, and you know, and got to the penthouse, and I wish I could have stayed longer, but you know, it was a great year and a half, and I thought I did pretty well. You know, but so if there's guys that want to make their mark fighting me, then yeah, I'm all for it, you know. So
I'll leave you with this. As a longtime Ranger fan, Nick Fotiu was my favorite tough guy. You remember Nick Fotiu many years ago?
Of course I know Nicky Foe. I mean, he was my assistant coach in.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was my assistant coach the first lockout year in Hartford. And great man. You know, he could play the game as well, and he was one of those guys that worked with me a lot too after on my skills, and he'd always work with all kinds of guys, not just tough guys. He'd work with players like Jamie Lundmark and guys like that. He's just a great man. He really was a good assistant coach. I've been blessed with some great coaches. Our head coach that year was Ryan McGill, another tougher guy, and you know, our GM of that team was Jim Schoenfeld.
Oh, sure.
Tough. So I mean, you know, those guys are good guys in the game, and Nicky Foe was one of the best.
Hockey Fights Cancer coming up this weekend for the Solar Bears. Gwinnett on tomorrow night, and the Everblades of Florida coming up on Sunday. Get out, catch the action, support the cause, and check out Trevor Gillies. You never know what he's going to do. Hey, Trevor, this was fun. Enjoyed it. Best of luck. We look forward to maybe catching up again.
Hey, my pleasure. I'll talk to you guys whenever you want.